I'm fascinated by this because there is the experience of being a minority in America is talked about a lot. And here you were, you couldn't have been more of a minority in a way. And yet it seems that your trajectory was somewhat resilient in the face of any perceived hostility or oppression, let alone how many microaggressions you must have experienced. And you just seem to brush it off or to feel self confident enough not to be affected by any of that. And
Yeah,
how, yeah, and how did it compare between Indiana and Berkeley?
yeah. This is, I think, one of the strengths of being raised in a kind of old-fashioned immigrant style. And I know you, I think you know something about this.
A little.
Yeah, I wrote I co-wrote with my husband a book called The Triple Package, where I talk about what causes certain cultural groups in America to just do really well by very conventional metrics, like highest educational attainment and income, and these very conventional metrics of success. And I identify these three traits or qualities, and one is what I call a sense of exceptionalism. Provocatively, I called it a superiority complex. So I was raised as a kid saying, when I remember telling my mom, this kid, Jeremy Hall, was bullying me, saying Chinese, slanty eyes, making fun of the way I still remember, Andrew, the way I said restaurant. I said restaurant. And he ran around, I was in fourth grade, ran around the yard saying, ah ha ha, restaurant, restaurant, And I came back and told my mom about this, and you will not believe her reaction. She was mad at me. She was like, why are you paying any attention to this idiot? Like, if he doesn't know that we come from the greatest civilization, 5,000 years of history, we invented everything. That why are you wasting time thinking about him? So, but that's the first feature. I say that goes a lot. If you just have a superiority complex, then you're just a smug, arrogant person. But combine that with the second quality, which I describe as insecurity. I think it's that combination of being told that you have something that you're really proud of, like whether it's the family you come from or the culture or the heritage, with this sense of being an outsider that creates almost like a chip on the shoulder feeling, like I am not being respected. I am going to show everybody. So I'm fascinated by this combination, and I'm just guessing that you have this. The third feature is something I call impulse control, basically self-discipline. But so yeah, when I was growing up, it's such a contrast to what I see in my students now. Like when people ask me, so where are you from? Or is your family Chinese? Or for me, it was like, yes, now I'm going to crush this question. Ask me in an
Exactly.
interview. It's going to be, I know I'm going to win, right? I'm going to be interesting. I have all this stuff to say. Now I can't even ask my Asian students, where are you from? Because that would suggest that I'm assuming that they don't belong to this country, or that it's a microaggression because I don't know, So it's very different.
It's that it's that really fascinating confidence of the minority. Now, I'm just extrapolating from my own experience, and I grew up in England, of course. So, but I was as a Irish Catholic had a very particular identity within that context. And it was very much a minority identity, and it was very much a viewed historically as a threat
Yes.
because, of course, England was constructed from the 16th century onwards on its opposition to Catholicism. And, Catholics couldn't be in public life until the very late 19th century in England. But for me, I came not from the aristocratic English Catholics who were able to buy themselves out of trouble for
Yeah.
hundreds of years. I was from the bog standard Irish Catholic who came
Yeah.
over as working classes. But my family was absolutely like yours, completely contemptuous of people who might criticize this. And it was, and in fact, to tell people I was a Catholic, which I did as soon as I got out of Catholic school and went to a secondary secular high school, I was very proud of it.
Yeah.
I retained it. I learned it cold. Like I could tell you the distinctions between transubstantiation. I
Yeah.
could tell you the niceties of the Immaculate Conception at the age of 11. I was down with it,
Yes.
and I welcomed conflict. I welcomed being challenged for this, and again, also there was this is proud as I learned we ran England before you guys did.
Exactly. That mentality.
And
Exactly.
this amazing Catholic civilization across Europe and across centuries. I mean, this is extraordinary. I picked Thomas More as my confirmation saint as a sort of fuck
Yes.
you
Right. And the
to the
erudition. Yes. Yeah.
and and also I was told, I mean, I remember watching Man for All Seasons when I was a kid, like you worked hard, you studied hard, you could do anything you really wanted to if you really tried, but discipline was essential and also humility was essential.
Yes.
But my mother would tell me, she's probably going to hear this. Well, maybe she'll hear this. But the first thing she told me was, and the other thing in Britain is class, of course, where I was lower, I wasn't in the right strata. But there, the key message was the Queen goes to the toilet too.